Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Epicly. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. Since we're a Naruto community over here, it wouldn't be right for me to not confirm for you that they've got some Naruto merch on display. Just go under the t-shirt section and they have Naruto merch there, so feel free to look through their shirts for Naruto merchandise. Once again, I'll leave my links and promo code in the description box for any of you guys who are interested. With that being said, let's dive into today's video. When it comes to dojutsu in the Naruto world, we have fans that tend to focus on the usual suspects, the Sharingan, the Byakugan, the Tenseigan, and most recently the Jogan, and etc, etc. However, in a world as big as the Naruto world, there are even more Kekkei Genkai than we ever could have imagined, especially when it comes to dojutsu, and a close observation of a lot of them reveals a lot of similarities to them. But like a lot of ninjutsu in the Naruto world, it really comes down to how the user wields the power that's given to them. So in today's installment of the Kekkei Genkai Handbook, we're going to take a look at Ranmaru's dojutsu and explain why the dojutsu deserves a whole hell of a lot more respect than a lot of fans give it. In particular, a lot of fans who are Hyuga fans. Now, for those of you guys who are new, the Kekkei Genkai Handbook is a series on this channel where we take a look at the various Kekkei Genkai in the Naruto world, and we all break them down from the more famous ones to the more lesser known Kekkei Genkai. So for today's video, I wanted to take a look at Ranmaru's Kekkei Genkai because any dojutsu that can give the Byakugan a lot of trouble definitely deserves a lot more respect. So we actually got introduced to this dojutsu in a small mini arc in the original Naruto anime, which interestingly enough, the Boruto anime referenced back when Boruto was still at the academy, which is why I finally went back and watched this arc in the Naruto anime because I wanted to see what the Boruto anime was actually referencing. So when Ranmaru turned on his dojutsu, his eyes would turn red, much like the Sharingan, and I know a lot of you guys made that connection. However, this dojutsu, in my opinion, is way more hacks than either the Sharingan or the Byakugan. And notice I said Sharingan, so not the Mangekyo Sharingans and the various different abilities that various Mangekyo Sharingan have. Now, for starters, on the basic level, it can see through walls, it can cast genjutsu so advanced that it might as well be real, since it creates beings inside the genjutsu that have its own chakra network, and it's more than potent enough that it's able to fool a fully mature Byakugan. Its abilities also allow it to counter the strongest aspects of the Byakugan, as shown when it fooled Neji during that brief battle on Ice when Neji's Byakugan was overwhelmed by the genjutsu that was casted. Now, on top of being able to see through walls, the dojutsu has another freakish ability. So this dojutsu also allows the user to have some form of the Sharingan's eye of insight. So just as the Sharingan is able to see the small twitches of the body and predict movements, this jutsu can also flat out predict moves before it's used. But this is where the Sharingan Eye of Insight is actually being surpassed. This dojutsu can literally see the life force inside the body, going deeper than the Byakugan's ability to see into the chakra network, but also being able to essentially see a person's soul and see their life force, as well as view their emotions based on looking at their actual soul. Not only that, but the dojutsu possesses one of the most broken abilities in all of literature, which is the ability to bring somebody back to life by transferring the life force. Now, what makes this dojutsu even more insane, and in my opinion is part of the reason why it actually surpasses the Sharingan's ability with the Eye of Insight, is the fact that it can also sense chakra, it can track chakra from long distances, and by listening to the soul of a person, they can also make out the intentions of the person regardless of the distance because they're able to see the actual soul. Now, for a dojutsu like this, there is a small limit on what it can actually do. So in particular, when it comes to the overpowered ability to bring somebody back from the dead. So anytime you have an ability like this, there has to be some type of a trade-off for it, because otherwise people will be coming back from the dead left and right. Now, while this dojutsu does give you the ability to see a person's life force, when you bring somebody back from the dead, you're literally giving up part of your own life force in order to do so. Now, this is a step down of the Rini Rebirth, and some people, I've even seen them say that this is a watered down version of the Rini Rebirth. However, there are some key differences here. So the Rini Rebirth literally requires the life of the user to revive a person from the dead, and despite what many fans hang their hat on, the Rini Rebirth is not dependent on chakra levels, which we know from the War arc, where the chakra levels argument was busted apart several times in the Naruto War arc. Whereas the Rini Rebirth required the life of a person in exchange for one life or several lives that are being brought back from the dead, Ranmaru's jutsu only requires a small portion of his life force. But eventually, if too much is used, in theory, he would eventually die, since there's only so much of your actual life force you're able to sacrifice. However, that's going to do it for this latest installment of the Kekkei Genkai Handbook. I'll be sure to be back with another installment soon. Leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. Also, let me know if you guys agree that this Kekkei Genkai should be in the discussion for one of the most underused Kekkei Genkai in the series. But so always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.